What is going on? Kevin, what's going on, buddy? How you doing? How's Florida? How's the weather? How's work? Give it a few minutes, let notifications go out if they do anymore. Yvonne, how are you doing? Good to see you. How was your weekend? How's the start of the week been? Hopefully making some decent money, getting some decent orders. Oh, got a few more people coming in. Warren, I think my mom knows where I'm at. I know where she's at, kind of. How you doing tonight, Warren? Michael, what's going on? Almost Monday Night Football weekend and Yvonne's birthday weekend. Okay, now is that the same weekend? Ellen, how are you doing? Yvonne says, good. How are you doing? I'm doing, all things considering, I'm doing pretty well. Three more sleeps till 43. We just turned that clock back for you, too. James, how are you doing? Good to see you. I'm gonna have to not work as late on Monday then. Actually watch the game. Although I don't know, I've had bad luck lately. Anytime I watch a game, my team tends to lose, so maybe I won't watch it. Uh, English. Juan's birthday is October 31st, Monday night game, November 3rd. Fun, action-packed weekend. Halloween, birthday, Monday night football. James, glad to hear. Yeah, I'm good. I'm usually good. See what he did there for my birthday, Halloween. He gave me a trick, making me go back to Moo Moo Boy. I probably won't watch it. Just yeah, I want to watch it. I just probably won't because then they'll probably lose. Cowboys and Seahawks. I have two teams. Cowboys and Seahawks. My Mariners almost made it to the World Series. Almost. Horseshoes and hand grenades. Whoever moves first is handsome. Okay. Oh, you're a Falcons fan? Hey, nothing wrong with that. I mean, we could all be like a Browns fan or a Jets fan. I mean, that's usually pretty disappointing year after year. Kevin's been doing all right. Adding up some rainfall totals. 19 inches of rain since Sunday? That's crazy. Sprout, what's going on? Deanna, how are you doing? Cowboys. Chicken stars? Are they like the Dino Nuggies? Do they have star-shaped ones too? I feel like I don't care how old you get as a guy, you give us chicken nuggets, we're pretty happy. Jamaica is getting hit hard with a hurricane. Oh wow, I didn't even realize there was a hurricane going on. I've kind of taken a break from social media, or I'm still taking a break from social media. People are just getting dumber and dumber, and we've incentivized stupidity to the point, hey, you do dumb crap and we will pay you. Quality of content is going downhill. Warren says, I haven't followed football for a few years. How are the Oilers doing? Well, they're in Tennessee. They're the Titans, and they got replaced by the Houston Texans. Because nothing says Houston like Texans. Sean says, how much money? How much money for what? Eighth strongest hurricane of all time. Sounds fun. I actually watched The Perfect Storm the other day I think it might have been the first time ever. Still a lot of movies I haven't seen. Jason, what's going on? Jason says, I'll say hey to everyone as a collective whole. I've been going to devour tacos. In other words, he doesn't want to get sour cream on his phone. And yeah, Jason just says basically hi to everybody at once. Kind of like an AA meeting. Hi, I'm Jason and I eat tacos. I'll be nice. I don't want him choking on a taco. No sour cream on those tacos. Why not? A little bit of sour cream is always good. Vaughn, I'm always like, hi Jay, and you're always like, I'm a troll. Again, like AA, the first step's is admitting it. So he does admit that he's a troll. He's a paying troll that likes his tacos. The tacos really do sound good. Trying to think where I could get tacos. And I'm not talking Taco Bell. There's like a taco truck like 4 or 5 miles away. Uh, Jay Goldrise, what's going on? My driver's 3 minutes away with my piping hot cheese stuffed crust pizza. Hopefully it's in a pizza bag. That way it's still piping hot. James, good to see you. Stopping in to say hi. Hope all is good. As good as can be expected. Could have been, could have woke up today as a poor white child, and instead I'm just a poor white adult. You got finally gonna get some rain in Texas? What time is it? I gotta tell you guys, as far as like football, which is what we were talking about, since I have moved to the West Coast from Nebraska, like there's a 2 hour time difference. But most of you already know that. But my brain trying to compute Monday Night Football starting at like 4:30 or 5, it's not computing at all. My brain is not used to football starting before dinner. Sundays, Monday nights, it's not. So one of these days I'll get used to it. Princess Mel, how are you doing? Jay said hi to me, so I said it's gonna rain. You think it'd be easier for him to say hi to you because I mean he's basically your neighbor. I'm doing all right. Yeah, let's get some rain in Texas. I don't know. Do you guys need rain? You have ordered all your car parts. What all parts do you have to replace? Remind me. Refresh my memory. By the way, I don't understand how the Dallas Cowboys lost to the Broncos. I mean, the Broncos are 6-2, I guess. Never mind. The biggest shock in the NFL world for me is okay, two shocks. The Colts being 7-1 and Tampa Bay being 6-2. That's a little that's a bit of a surprise. CV axles, ball joints, rotors. Sounds like a fun afternoon. Yes, the Cowboys owner does suck. Well, at his age, he probably sucks most things through a straw. But I mean, do you really not understand, or want me to explain? I don't want it. I don't want an explanation. No, I would say the Cowboys ownership sucks. What's the woman who owns the Colts? Maybe she should just buy the Cowboys. At least she's actually trying to learn. Cesar, what's going on? It's gonna be a long afternoon for me. She's having me go to Texas to install all that crap. Hey, you're the one that was talking about wanting to be a mobile mechanic. You get to be a mobile mechanic. Do not complain. I don't want to hear it. I'm all for the Dallas Cowgirls, being in charge of the team. Panthers owner is the richest owner in the NFL. Yeah, and how are the Panthers doing? Proof that you can have money and no brains. Although we're talking about DoorDash, I mean that most of us have known that for a while. The Packers are doing awesome. They they're doing all right. I don't think they've had a super tough schedule, but this has just been a weird year in football because all the teams that you would think would be doing good are not, and all the teams that are going, you're going, it's gonna be another year for them. They're all of a sudden like, whoa, they played lower teams. We beat the Lions and the Steelers. The Lions, okay. The Steelers, I wouldn't flex a whole lot. It's the Steelers. They're a head coach away from being the Jets. Should just come down and visit us, but I think Amarillo is like 10 hours away. Eh, I've been to Amarillo. Yeah, I mean Pittsburgh's 4-3, and I don't know what the Steelers' deal is because they brought in some talent. I mean, they got rid of some talent too. I don't know why you would get rid of George Pickens. Imagine having Pickens and Metcalf on the same team on the field at the same time. See, Packers, they're 5-1. Yeah, Jason, I wouldn't be talking crap about the Cowboys if I were you as a Green Bay Packers camp fan because y'all tied. You finished the game with a tie. I wouldn't be, and you lost to the Browns. You beat the Steelers, the Cardinals, the Bengals, the Commanders, aka the Redskins, and you started off the season beating the Lions. But you lost to the Browns, you tied the Cowboys, and since then you beat the Bengals. It's like beating the Jets, uh, backup squad. The Cardinals, you beat the Cardinals again. It's like beating somebody's practice squad. Um, so yeah, but you guys lost to the Bengals. Pretty sure that's kind of like a tie. Whataburger? Never had one. Michael, yeah, I don't know. The Steelers sticking with Mike Tomlin is like the Cowboys sticking with Jason Garrett all those years. Don't get it. But yeah, the Cowboys will stick with Jason Garrett, losing season after losing season after losing season, and then you get Mike McCarthy in here. You keep him for 3 years. He's got a solid winning record. You make the playoffs. I think all 3 years that he was head coach, or was he 4 years? I don't know, I think that part of that was during COVID, so I lost a year there. Still consistently gets you to the playoffs, and you're going, "Yeah, not good enough." And look how they are this year. And Pickens has been doing well in Dallas for the most part. Yvonne, see, I think we both agree, like, why get rid of Pickens? I literally had to hold on to my phone because the Walgreens employees thought it was okay to try and take it out of my hand. I probably would have smacked somebody's hand. But to go back to 2020, 6 feet apart, don't touch my phone. The best time when it came to delivering. Yeah, send you a watermeal. Can you freeze dry it and send me one? Yvonne, yeah, you guys really haven't had a losing season yet, but one game, 2 games above 500. At some point, you got to get back to the playoffs, and you got to make a run in the playoffs. I have no idea how y'all ended up going through um, Rudolph, Justin Fields, Russell Wilson, and decided your best option at quarterback was is somebody who's already in their 40s and is not Tom Brady. Steelers ownership's a lot like the Cowboys. Mel, yeah, definitely having that done on your car and having a running cars make life so much easier. Eric, what's going on? At least we've seen a Super Bowl this century. Not arguing with that. Like I said, we could be Jets fans or Browns fans or Bengals fans. I have a phone on a wrist strap so I can't drop it when juggling food, drinks, etc. When people try to grab it, it yanks my arm and then they apologize. Next time somebody tries to grab my phone, I am going to look at them and go, I don't know where your hands have been. Don't touch my phone. Most of the door greeters are receipt checkers. Show me your papers at Walmart. They've learned very quickly. Don't try to touch my phone because I go from nice and pleasant, like, "Hey, how you doing?" to "Don't touch my phone," very quickly. It's rude, and there's no need for you to touch my phone. I don't know where your hands have been. Considering you work at Walmart, I probably don't want to know where your hands have been. Expect big trades for the Cowboys soon. Well, God, they got rid of Micah Parsons, and how's he doing in Green Bay? Pretty well. Trade for a new defensive coordinator. Just trade owners. I wish that could be a thing. You just trade owners. Corey, how's it going? Mel, you haven't got that from restaurants? Be very fortunate. It's getting pretty close, says Michael. I can feel the Steelers losing season coming on. Hello. Well, if you want to guarantee a losing season or not make it deep into the playoffs, have Aaron Rodgers as your quarterback. What? How many teams has he been on now? This is his third or fourth team. He was getting a lot of penalties and getting a little temper tantrum the last season, so he did start that way with the Cowboys, but someone or something straightened him out. Yeah, well, there'd be times because I mean, I'd watch whatever game was on TV or listen to whatever game I could on the radio, and Pickens, I enjoy watching him play, and there was a lot of games that I remember that he might only get 2 targets in a game. I would get frustrated too, especially if I had the talent that he has. You know, Blaze, what's going on? How you doing? Luke, what's up? Oh, there are a lot of trolls in here tonight. There's a whole lot of people whose mom should have swallowed. At some point, Yvonne, all I'm saying is you get too comfortable with what you have, and you kind of end up getting stuck doing the same thing and making the same decisions over and over and over again. The Cowboys have done it. The Steelers have done it. The Jets have done it. All of these teams that have not seen the playoffs or a Super Bowl, in 10 plus years is because their ownership isn't doing anything different. They think that they can keep doing the same thing that they did 10 years ago, and that's not the case. 10 years ago, we really started seeing a push in, more mobile quarterbacks, run and gun, and there was a lot of teams that were like, no, we're not getting a run and gun quarterback. We're not getting a quarterback. Our quarterback's going to stay in the pocket. We're going to shore up our offensive line, and we're not going to change how we've been doing things. How's that worked out? The Chiefs have won how many Super Bowls um, since then? The only non-mobile quarterback that I can think of that has won multiple Super Bowls in the same time frame was Tom Brady. And like him or hate him, he's a football genius. Yes, that would be awesome. Welcome to the first annual NFL Owners Draft 2026. I would love to see that. Kenneth, how you doing? Mary, how are you? Welcome in. Rogers was a good quarterback. Got a little howling. Lisa, thank you. Oh, that was cool. Rodgers was a good quarterback with the Packers. He left and got horrible. He got the Brett Favre treatment, is what happened. He got the Brett Favre treatment. That's you guys remember. Most of you do. You're old enough to remember. Brett Favre got hurt in the '90s, late '90s, right? Late '90s, early 2000s. He gets hurt. Rodgers replaces him, and they stick with Rodgers, and then Favre gets the boot. Rodgers doing consistently pretty well. He gets hurt. Jordan Love comes in. They decide to ride with Jordan Love, and they kick Rodgers to the side. I don't know what to say. Other than there's no loyalty. Fawn, how are you doing? Oh, it was a husky. That's what they call it on here. Okay, I look like a husky, but God only knows what they label some of the stuff on here. Um, we're talking football. We're talking pretty much anything within reason. Mahomes isn't mobile. He moves around like a toddler and confuses the defense. Technically, Luke, that's still being mobile. Mobile for a toddler, but Chiefs don't look as dominant as last season. No, there's been I don't know what's gotten into them other than Taylor Swift. I had to say it. I had to say it. Aaron has surprised me though. Well, then you don't have to remember. I would recommend not. We have a kitty cat, a cat witch, and a dumbass next to me. You don't have to remember. It's all right. Steve, what's going on? How you doing? Somebody in a I can't tell if that's a Mazda or a Volkswagen or something. Somebody thinks that they're cool sitting next to me. I think I cried when I found out we were getting him. He probably cried too, in all fairness. We're talking football, go Eagles. Hard to say I was wrong. Matt, you guys, I want to get a dog now. Not just one on my screen. See, it doesn't tell me what the name is until I scroll down to where the gift thing shows. Justin, what's going on? And for those wondering at home, no, it's not beer, it's orange cream soda. Never seen an orange beer in my life. Cat Witch is cute and a dog pumpkin. Hub's got me watching Monster. Um, I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna go watch Halloween, the original Halloween. It's always a good. It's always a good movie. Steve doing pretty well. been kind of, with the exception of Tuesday Lives, kind of been taking a break on the whole social media thing. People have lost their ever-loving minds even more, and there's only so much, I think, ignorance that one can experience in a day, and politics has completely taken over everything, all social media, so, it's not really ever fun. That was a cool guitar. Ma there, I gotta hand it to YouTube for coming up with some of these. Ooh, Ed Gain. Is he the Butcher of Plainsfield? I used to have an encyclopedia of serial killers in my brain. You couldn't find a chicken for me? That's okay. I saw enough chickens yesterday. Watched Halloween about 5 times. That's just the original. Lisa? See, yeah, like, I don't know if I'll probably throw on the Michael Myers mask later this week. Maybe I will on Friday and hand out candy to kids. Break from social, that is why you're doing great. Probably. I mean, I'm working on videos. I think I've got the whole Walmart Spark recording thing figured out. Thank you, Fawn. Um, I'm also gonna figure out how to record, like, laser engraving because 'cause I've been doing a lot of woodworking stuff, and I wanna vlog that. I think that would be kinda cool. So, woodworking is therapeutic. You're working with your hands. It's manly. You're building something, also feels manly. Um, there is Ron Swanson was right. There is something therapeutic about woodworking. Just scroll past everything I don't want to see on social media. It would be like fishing for me, Lisa. I would just be continually scrolling. This one is done by Ryan Murphy, though. Scary movies are my favorite. I love a good scary movie. I don't. I was I'm trying to think. Last movie that actually made me like jump. Um, I've seen a lot of them. I would say I think Sinister. Sinister is the only horror movie, scary movie, whatever, that I've watched that it's actually made me jump. Only once, but Transylvania movies are about the scariest I get. Hotel Transylvania. Okay. So no Halloween ends, no Halloween. I never got no take now. Nobody take offense to this, but I've never gotten into the whole Jason Friday the 13th movies. Never really interested me. Besides, most of those movies from the 70s and 80s and even probably most of the movies today, as soon as you see two people getting busy, You know somebody's about to die. Just how it works in horror movies. You're alive, your videos don't come up on my feed anymore. Jake! Probably because I haven't really posted any videos. Honestly, just been kinda taking a break. We're doing our Tuesday lives, um, keeping in contact with everybody, that way. I think I reached the point of burnout on gig work, really. Spark is the only thing that I'm, like, tolerating right now. DoorDash is a joke. I hope every single one of you finds an app to work that's not DoorDash, and I welcome the day that DoorDash's business goes up in flames. And I'm not talking about, like, physically. I just want it I want the truth to come out about DoorDash, all their manipulation and tactics, and I wouldn't complain one bit if that happens. Luke is good with his hand. That may be TMI. That is my production trade, lasers and pyrotechnics. Man, Steve, I've been having so much fun with my laser engraver, and it's crazy. I've been having so much fun with it. I actually ordered a second laser engraver uh, for some bigger projects, and I'm gonna get both of those going. And I'm doing keychains and boxes and signs and pretty much anything and everything you can make out of wood. Somebody said a 3D printer I should get. I said that would be very dangerous for reasons. It was made that way, but he was real. Sewing's therapeutic too. I bet it is. I don't have the patience. Is it the one stalker in Britain or something? Are you talking about Jack the Ripper? Steve, what's going on? Yes, Jason, I knew that's where that was going. You should take up the saxophone like Tina Silver. I used to play the saxophone actually, so I mean that's a possibility. Luke, yeah, I knew Jason was probably gonna take it that way. $5 to drink mustard like Go-Gurt. See, if you find somebody to do that for $5, I will show you a person that has a very low IQ. The music in Sinister is what creeps me out. Oh, that soundtrack was amazing. I gotta hand it to them. Corey, what's going on? Good to see you. Hopefully you're still in here and I'm not too far behind in chat. Thinking about you the other day, Corey. Hopefully you're doing well. Hopefully everybody's doing well. Fawn says I don't do creepy. Hocus pocus is my speed. Yeah, you definitely don't need to be a mod. First rule of modding is not spamming. Sam, what's going on? How you doing? Dealt with my car breaking down over and over from gig work. Yeah, I mean, I haven't had any really car issues. Although Friday, was it Friday? Yes, it was Friday. Friday, I was doing a Spark order, and it was pouring. It was pouring, like freaking pouring. And I'd gotten two of the three orders dropped off. I was on my way to drop off the third, and I get a flat tire. And when I say it went flat like that. So I am standing out there in the pouring rain trying to change my tire. I was soaked. Actually, I was beyond soaked. I know what it feels like to now take your clothes out of the washer and just put them on. Hoodie soaked, long sleeve shirt soaked, undershirt soaked, pants, unmentionables, socks, everything soaked. I was soaked down to my skin. And it ended up costing me, I didn't get the tip for that last drop off because it took too long and I had to return the order to the store. I think I missed out on a whole $3. Still got my base pay, still got the tips from the other two deliveries. And when I got to the Les Schwab to get my tire fixed, they came out and told me, "Hey, we can't fix your tire because you actually have a slice in the sidewall. But we gave you a new tire because you got those tires through us and you have a warranty on them." So, I'm like, sweet. So actually, I missed out on $3 in tips from that last delivery, but I got a $120 tire for basically free. So I mean, it worked out. It was a pain. It was a pain in the butt, but it worked out. I still don't like having flat tires though. Jason, you've had words with DoorDash. I have a lot of words for DoorDash, and none of them are family friendly. Spark was good on Sunday. Yeah, Spark's been really good lately. Pennywise right now, the OG one or the new one? Steve sounds good. Text you some laser stuff I've done. Yeah, definitely. Let me know. Have a good night. Sewing is like anything else. Practice, practice, practice. Vaughn doesn't do clowns. Am I hotboxing right now? No, definitely not at Walmart. Although that might actually be the one place you would want to do it. Jason says his mind lives in the southern hemisphere. Not wrong. 9:45 Eastern, so I'm 5 minutes behind in chat. Okay. Oh, Lisa, yeah, that rain was cold. Yeah, even my gloves. I had gloves on. My gloves were soaked. Not fun. But yes, Mel, and I am too. I'm glad it ended well, and they were able to squeeze me in the last 40 minutes that they were open. Bad time for it to happen. You know, 4:30 in the afternoon on a Friday, and they close at 6. and you have no idea how busy they are. Fortunately, the rain kept a lot of people away. Les Schwab isn't the cheapest place to buy from, but their post-sale support is phenomenal. Warren, it really is. And I don't mind paying a little bit extra because I've I had a flat tire a year ago. Yeah, that was about a year ago. It was one of my trips out to Nebraska. I was bringing stuff back here. I was coming across Idaho and was, picked up a nail or something, and it was my choice was either go to Walmart or go to Les Schwab, and I did not want to wait until the automotive department opened at Walmart. So I was like, well, Les Schwab's open. I'll give them a try. Got me in and out in like 20 minutes. Fixed the flat or patched the tire. It didn't cost me anything, and I wasn't even a customer. So no, I gotta hand it to them. They do good work, and they're a good company. We need to have more companies like that. I bet you turn it on in Lincoln for the Hy-Vee shops. You like those? Yeah, I ain't turning DoorDash on for anything. I'll open up the DoorDash app because I haven't deleted it. If there's changes and things that pop up, I'll still talk about those. But I'm not giving DoorDash any of my time or energy. New Pennywise, watched the OG recently also. They're both good. Both actors did phenomenal jobs. Obviously, different generations. And coolest thing you know, about the new one is like his eye movement. That isn't CGI. That's actually the actor doing that, which was cool. They let him do it because they told him in I think the interview process, like, we'll CGI in your eyes doing. He's like, well, I can do that, and he did it in front of them. They're like, okay, you got it. You got the role. Mel's working on cutting fabric for 3 red quilts as Christmas presents. Oh, nice. Yeah, I think people are getting whatever I make them. That's what they're getting for Christmas this year. Keychains, signs, bottle openers, boxes, whatever else I can come up with. I'll post some pictures later in the community section of the channel. Some couple boxes and stuff that I made this last week. And I do like being able to just go live with you guys and hang out and not have not have the pressure because sometimes anybody who makes videos sometimes um, you almost feel pressure to make a video, and that's generally not a good thing. I've noticed anytime I've like forced myself to make a video or I haven't been in the mood to make a video, but I've made one anyway. My mood, my attitude, it all shows. So there's no point. Ghost Hunter gal, good to see you. It's been a minute. How you been? Have you thought of a new name yet? We are so different yet so much alike. I know you guys just asked the same questions at the same time. Um, I haven't looked at the poll in a couple days, or in a week, I should say. Where are we at? Posts? They changed it from community to posts. Okay. So out of 128 votes, 30% went to the Brash guy, 38% went to Brash Talk, 20% Brash Thoughts, 11% said other. Um, let's see. Well, we got some of the. What were some of the suggestions here? Brash Driver, Mad Brasher, that Brash guy. Yeah, I hear he's kind of a yeah. The Brash Gig, Brash Gigs, Brash Drives, Brash Cash, Brash Makes Cash, the Brash Delivery, Brash Eats, Brash Hustle, Brash Driver, Brash Hole. That's not on the list. That's just something that popped into my head. Just Brash. Somebody said, "Oh, our lovely troll, in-store bag nerd." It's all this person ever comments is in-store bag nerd. Um, Sorry, Tom, I am not going with in-store bag nerd. I did respond to Tom though, because it's always polite to, you know, I try to respond to the trolls too. I just told him to put the paint chips down and stop licking windows. And Michael, in Florida, yes, you did hear Brash Hole. I don't think you should pull it. A censure got his name from a suggestion. I could just go completely different and just start doing just start doing woodworking videos and put the name of my woodworking and business on there. I mean, that's an option. It's all about work and fun and making money and making stuff and having fun. It's all about having fun. Love wins. How are you? Jason, of course, you like Brash Hole. Ghost Hunter Gal says, yes, great idea. What, using my business name as my channel name? Yeah, it's all about reinventing yourself. It is. And there's so much more to life than gig work and DoorDash. To the point I don't even like saying the name. AI thinks you're JTwit. Okay. Don't forget AI also stands for artificial idiot. Okay, so it would be 581 Printworks. That would be the name of the channel. There we go. To go a completely different direction and just start, yeah, start doing videos on me making stuff. Warren. And Warren was a stand-up comedian. He didn't use the family name because his parents got an injunction, so he was Warren Peace. Go in nature and it will come to you. Hopefully nature is a little bit warmer this weekend. Hopefully. Ghost Hunter Gal says mischief managed. Oh, I get it. Oh. War and peace. Warren says he was a lot of different things. Oh, Yvonne, you're all right. And then Michael comes in and corrects. Sometimes the comment section is more entertaining than the actual stream. It's always fun to watch two people in love flip each other crap. I hear DoorDash is waiving fees and donations to food banks because of SNAP and shutdown. That's something. Well, they're more of a social outreach program than a delivery company anyway. I mean, you have their Dash routes, you have all these programs that they're putting money into to help the needy and help the less privileged. Meanwhile, most of their dashers, most of their drivers are those very same people. So I find it kind of idiotic that a company like DoorDash will lower base pay and then give it back to you in some form of a program as they're doing good things to help you. No, they're not. They're taking money away, they're reinvesting it into other areas. Then when they go and donate, they get to use it as a write off. So they're not doing anything out of the kindness of their own heart. These apps don't do that. It's all about public perception. So, Mark, what's going on? Good to see you. I wouldn't necessarily say I'm working, but I am. Wait, Rhode Island's big enough to have an airport? Probably helping build $3 million ballroom. That I'm not gonna get into because I don't somebody else's mom should have swallowed. Um, I've had so much fun, quote unquote, as far as that's concerned, politically. Um, Checked out on that, but Josh says I'm almost there. Don't drive off yet. Okay, a lot of bad offers. Yeah, I've heard that Boston, the Logan Airport is kind of a nightmare. Never flown in there yet. You need a ride to the bridge. Well, there's a lot of bridges, so you'd have to narrow that down. Jason says I will not be doing the $2 welfare deliveries. Thoughts on food stamps ending? Well, I don't get food stamps, so I don't have anything ending. See, I work for what I get. Love wins. It is not really that cold. Wintertime, it doesn't get that cold around here. This last winter was the first winter that I've been here in this area, and I think the coldest it got, I think we had one, maybe two overnight lows of like 23, 24 degrees. Otherwise, average temperature in wintertime around here during the day is like 45 degrees. Far cry from Nebraska, where you can go an entire month in the middle of winter and not see above freezing. Still waiting for Chucky to pop up behind me with a plastic bag. Well, that won't happen. There's a better chance of I won't say that part. Michael Myers could pop up. Here's the question. I have a question since we're getting up on Halloween, and this is a very serious question. I thought about this last night when I was laying in bed about ready to fall asleep. Who would win in a fight, Bigfoot or Michael Myers? Who would win between those two? Cell waiting a lot, like 20 cars here. Not sure who's taking them. I don't wear a jacket those few days that it's cold enough. I just stay inside. Yeah, I think last year I had, I think two. I think I only wore a coat like maybe three times. Now when I go up into the mountains, yeah, I'd layer up. Think about doing gig work all these years, even in Nebraska, and a lot of you guys in the cold air or that live in areas where it gets cold, you understand. You know, and it's difficult wearing a jacket, like especially like a winter jacket when you're out doing deliveries because you're in your car most of the time. You get out, you run into a restaurant, you run into a grocery store, you get back in your car, you drop an order off at somebody's front door, you're back in your car. It's like, honestly, it's kind of uncomfortable wearing a coat because you're not in the cold long enough to really need one. It could just be me, but I've never, I'm not saying never. Um, I've had days where I've worn a jacket. Granted, it's a lighter jacket. I'm just layered up that much, but um, getting in and you're out of your car because you're like, what? Get out, back in, get out, back in. You do 10 deliveries, that's 20 times you're getting in and out of your car. Bigfoot, Bigfoot, Bigfoot. Rent in Rhode Island is crazy for two-bedroom. You're looking at 2K if you're lucky to find it. I didn't know those kind of drugs became legal in Rhode Island. Somebody's got to be smoking crack to think that they. That's just ridiculous. Bigfoot because no one ever sees him coming. They also don't really see Michael Myers coming either. So Michael says draw. They go to a bar and have a beer. Yeah, yeah, I could see that. And add utilities and heat insurance. Nothing left over for food. Yep, it's crazy. Yeah, you guys know I just don't talk. I really don't talk politics on here. I talk a lot of smack on Twitter or X. I've got a troll account on X that I just people make dumb comments and I make fun of them for it, strictly in a laughing manner. If you get abducted by a UFO from your car, we will call it fire in the backseat. You just put your arms through the sleeves. Not that difficult. Yeah, thanks, Luke. There was a Bigfoot sighting in my neighborhood, but I didn't see him. I was even outside doing gardening when they supposedly spotted him, and I saw nothing. Remember, mortgage used to be 1,500 a month for a good house. Yeah, I mean for a nice house. Yeah. At one point, it was cheaper to. It was actually cheaper to rent than buy a house, and then we had a good period of time where it was cheaper to buy a house than to rent, and now just everything is astronomical. And I'm not going to go down that road. Find me on Twitter, and then we'll go down that road. Nah, I'm not going to go down that road anyway. Um, and just like that, I am caught up on chat, which time for van life. I'm just going to remodel a camper and live in a camper. I will renovate a camper and make it look like a log cabin. Because home's where you park it, right? A van down by the river. They're getting expensive too. Do I do rideshare? I do on occasion, mostly football season, and mostly in Nebraska. I'm I can't really do rideshare around here because I am not going to get into all the crap that I would have to go through to be able to do rideshare here. Yeah, I've done both Uber and Lyft. I actually started doing both of those. Those were my first gig apps. I started doing that full time in 2016. So actually, as we approach the beginning of April 2026, will be 10 years in gig work. 10 years of not having my own boss, but somehow having many, many people who think they are my boss. Not as many as there are employees who think they're my boss at Walmart. Try to the airport. At least I know I'm not gonna get in trouble. Well, see, out here, I can't even turn the apps on. Uber, or I can do Uber Eats, but I can't do Uber rideshare and I can't do Lyft because I'm so close to Portland, yet I live in Washington and I'm like 20, 25 miles from Oregon, from Portland. They consider me in the Portland zone and want me to apply with the city of Portland to get a business license to be able to do rideshare here in Washington. No. Portland, you have enough problems going on. Uh, Trying to flex your authoritative muscles. Yeah, we see how well that works. So I'm just not gonna do rideshare around here. I'll save it. And if like need be, if next football season go out to Nebraska, hey, I'll just pull a camper out there, live in the camper for a month, and do rideshare for an entire month in Nebraska. Business license, car inspection, and a test. Yeah, that's a little bit much for the issues that Portland already has going on, saying we need to make sure you're legal, and I find that part funny. Um, but it's all about money for them. How much can we extort out of every driver to pay for a business license yearly, car inspection yearly, and it's all about money and control. And I'm not about to play that game. Mark says if I need to pick up in another state like Massachusetts, I would need to switch my Uber account to a Massachusetts Uber account, which is another background and car inspection. Yeah, that's ridiculous. Warren says I don't do it because I don't like people in this car. Specifically in your car, or you just don't like people? Because it's okay. I There's a time and a place for people in my car. Yeah, and I don't need somebody like I know my car and I know if there's an issue with my car. I don't need somebody going, well, I'm not going to drive somebody in an unsafe car. Right? And I don't need any local city, state, federal municipality, or government to try to tell me um, really to do anything. I say be ungovernable. I don't like people in my car either. I had some bad experience. I I've had my fair share of good and bad doing rideshare, but I don't usually let the bad. If I let the bad outweigh the good in rideshare, I would have been done doing rideshare my very first New Year's Eve after somebody told me they thought about slitting my throat and actually showed me the knife. That was fun. Love wins. Always good to see you. Have a good night. We'll see you here next week. Mary's there in lurky mode. Nothing wrong with that. What else do you do for stream of income, other gig work? Right now, I'm pretty much reliant on Spark, and I'm getting decals, stickers, signs, woodworking. Basically, going to have my own print shop. I kind of do have my own print shop, but laying out the groundwork for that and getting the website finished up so I can share that with you guys, getting stuff listed on like eBay and Etsy and whatever other websites I can. Um, Getting into researching who to talk to in the area about like bazaars, craft fairs, events, things like that. But uh, something that I actually have control over for the most part. Yes, I am going to do t-shirts as well, Jason. At some point, I have the things, I have everything that I need to start doing t-shirts, um, with the exception of the space to do them, just with everything else I'm doing right now. But at some point, I will be doing t-shirts as well. So, and I'll post, like I said, I'll post some pictures here this evening, later this evening, in the community section of the channel, showing some of the stuff that I've made over the last like week and a half. Yeah, about a week and a half. I actually made a couple really cool boxes today, yesterday. Some really nice wood boxes. I'm doing stuff that's actually like I'm impressing myself. Like, holy crap! I did this. That's awesome. Did not know you like graphic design, Mark. I didn't really know that I did either. I enjoy getting creative, being creative, and I've in the past, like I've done photography, so I've done some work with logo design and Photoshop and all of that, but not to the level that I'm getting into now. And it's very relaxing for me. How do you get your creative ideas from? Oh, for stickers, I keep my ears and eyes open. Sometimes I'll see something on like social media um, that kind of gives me an idea or bit of an inspiration. I came up with a sticker. This guy he's wearing his um, tricorner hat and like 1700s looking dude, and he's got a hatchet and it says "Let's hatch it out like men." I like puns, so I was like, instead of hashing it out like men, if we had axes, we'd be hatching it out like men. So I made one. I made a sticker like that. Um, some of these are probably now. There's no probably about it. Some of these are definitely going to be offensive to some people, which is cool. I mean, none of us can risk opening our mouths without the chance of offending somebody else. So you might as well just say what you're going to say. Jason, I will let you know as soon as I get the t-shirt thing going. Mary says I love offensive. I had one sticker. I don't even know if I should say it. Maybe, we're about at the end of the live, I'll say it. Um, do I even do I have one in my bag? I probably don't. No, I don't. Anyway, I had, somebody said something on social media somewhere, I didn't even see, I don't even remember where it was, but, you kinda get tired of people coming up with excuses. "Oh, it's because 'cause I'm this," or "It's because 'cause I'm that." It's like, "No, you're just kind of a crappy person." Because 'cause I'm sorry, there's just crappy people out there. Not you guys, but there are crappy people. We all know that. And so I made a sticker that says, "The content of your character sucks." That has absolutely nothing to do with anything other than some people are just crappy people. Like, I may disagree with somebody, I'm still going to respect them and show them, as much respect as they allow. That's the kind of person that I am. But, oh, can we have a T-shirt? Bumper stickers? Yes, I can do bumper. I got a bumper sticker as well that I made, for Portland. It says, "Portland, come for the rain, stay because someone stole your car." Flags and signs. Oh, I'll be doing pretty much everything. Coasters, wood and slate coasters, keychains, dog tags. It's gonna be a lot of work, but already done some things behind the scenes I have not revealed. Thank God, Jason, because this is YouTube. Yeah, Jason, you're definitely the least offendable person. Doing yourself for Teespring and Spreadshirt. I'm doing them myself, actually. I've got the T-shirt. I got a four-color T-shirt press. I got the screens, the ink. I got everything to get going on it. Mark, no worries. So yeah, all of the stuff that I'm going to be doing and going to be selling is stuff that I'm like actually hands-on physically making. I am not having drop shipping or just coming up with designs and having somebody else print them out. This is going to be my business. This is going to be I'm going to be doing everything. I'm going to be doing the creating and the designing and the packing and shipping and order for fulfillment and everything. I heard Teespring has screwed another YouTuber now. He is having to refund people who ordered merch. Yeah, I I haven't heard about that. It would not surprise me. I've had I've talked to people who've worked with print companies and they've been ordering the same thing, you know, specialty stuff and these companies are like, "Yeah, we're just not going to be doing that anymore." It's like, "Well, you've been making this stuff specifically for me for years, and now you're just not going to." Yeah, we're going to go a different direction. You're, you're you're losing a customer when you do that. It's not that hard to save a file on a computer and print when somebody needs something. But I don't want to use a print on demand company to do that because then you have an instance like that where now I'm the one that has to refund. I'm the one that looks bad because this company decided not to fulfill my orders. And then I have to explain, "Hey, I'm really sorry. Can't, I gotta give you a refund." When something happens, if something happens in a negative way, I would rather it be my fault so that when I take the blame, like, I shoulder that blame, allowing, basically giving up control over to somebody else or another company, and then when they screw up, I now have to take responsibility. That ain't right. I'm still gonna do it because I'm the one that put myself in that situation, but I could have avoided that entire headache if I would have just done it myself. So, Jason says, but since I know you'll be doing these things, so I'll be having you do things for me. Yeah, no worries. But like I said, that is the plan. I want to. I take responsibility very seriously, and I think a lot of us know, especially in gig work, you drop an order off, customer messages you, "Hey, half my order's missing." It's hard to take responsibility for that because you didn't pack it, you didn't make it, you didn't do anything except go and pick it up. But now you feel a sense of responsibility, at least most of us do. And it's hard because you're now in the middle with the customer, but the customer's upset with you because you only brought them half of what they ordered, even though it's the restaurant's fault. And it's like, "Oh, I'm sorry about that. I gotta pass blame over to somebody else. I'd just rather not do that." Something screwed up, I would rather it be my fault that I screwed it up, and then I can actually properly own up to it, if that makes sense. An hour and I guess we've been it's about time to go home and eat. I've been sitting here for an hour and a half, and at the time, I was the only car parked here, and now I'm not. So, yeah, I will post some pictures for you guys up there on the community tab later, just some stuff that I've done, screwed around with, and yeah. So, anybody got any final thoughts or questions before we jump off out of here? Anybody at all? Jason, yeah, feel free to message me. You guys can message me too. You don't have to. Michael in Florida. Yes, I think we can call it a tie. He just messaged me. Um, can we call it a tie? Both have great survival skills. Bigfoot and Michael Myers. Yeah, we can say that would be a tie. Like I said, it was going to be the question was kind of difficult, at least in my opinion. Yes, Michael, safe deliveries to you as well. Everybody, before we go, Yvonne, I ain't gonna sing you happy birthday, but if everybody could say happy birthday to Yvonne, aka Unicorn Deliveries. Um, I gotta give you crap about your Steelers. You give as good as you get because you do the same thing to us Cowboys fans. So, and if I didn't give you crap, then that means I don't really care. So I try to give people crap. Um, appreciate all of that, you guys. Mary, have a good night. Mel, Michael, Yvonne, Warren, Jason, Michael in Florida, who's listening and not in the comments. Um, I appreciate that. So, you guys all have a great night. We'll see you next Tuesday. There might be a video before then. And then, like I said, keep an eye out because I'm going to post some pictures in the community tab of what we've been working on. That's not gig work. So, you guys go have fun. Yvonne, if I don't talk to you before, have a very happy birthday. Have a happy birthday weekend. Happy Halloween. Um, go Cowboys on Monday. So, see you guys later.